Hi everybody, I'm Katie and I thought today I'd try and make a very quick and easy microwave banana pudding. I'd had a couple of these hanging around in the fruit bowl for a couple of days, and rather than make a banana bread like I normally would, I thought I'll give a new recipe a go and fingers crossed it turns out well. Right, so very easy, one pot. Roughly about 1 litre capacity, and it needs to be microwave safe. Here I've got all the ingredients that you'll need. So I've got a couple of overripe bananas that I've already mushed up. I've got 100 grams of butter that's already a little bit soft, but actually we're going to put it in the microwave to make it a bit softer and easier to use. I've got 100 grams of self-raising flour. I've actually used gluten-free self-raising flour because my daughter's gluten intolerant, but obviously you could use any self-raising flour. In here I've got 2 beaten eggs. Here we've got some light muscovado sugar. However, you could use golden caster sugar or just normal caster sugar if you've got some in your cupboard. And then here I've got a little bit of ground cinnamon. My daughter's also lactose intolerant, so I'm going to actually be using lactose-free milk, but again you could use a semi-skimmed or a whole milk. And apart from a wooden stirring spoon, actually you don't need too much else. A knife to cut the banana eventually would be great, but actually that's a nice little presentation side of it, and you don't actually need an extra ripe banana if you haven't got one. Right, so I'm going to start off by putting the butter in the big microwavable dish, and then that's going to go in the microwave for approximately 30 seconds till it's soft and a little bit melted. So then we can add all our other ingredients. So I'm putting this on high. I'm setting it for about 30 seconds, and then we'll be adding all the other ingredients to the pot. So hopefully that will save on a little bit of washing up. While that's doing, obviously you'd be able to mash your bananas and beat your eggs. I've done these already just so it's a little bit easier for me to explain things to you, but there'll be plenty to do while that's having its 30 seconds in the microwave. Once that's finished, we'll pop that out. Shouldn't be too hot because hasn't been in there long enough, but do be careful. So here you can see we've just got melted butter. So to the melted butter, basically what I'm going to do is add all the other ingredients. So in goes my 1.5 to 2 chopped bananas. Mashed bananas, should I say. Give it a little bit of a stir. You can actually mash them a little bit more if you need to, so that it really goes into the butter. Then what we're going to do is add the 100 grams of light muscovado sugar. Again, it could be any caster sugar. So that gets added. It's quite an easy recipe because everything's more or less 100 grams. So 100 grams of the sugar, flour and butter. And I'm just going to give that another good stir. The sugar's a little bit lumpy, so I'm just going to try and make them break down a little bit so that it doesn't have little pockets of sugar in the final cake. Lovely. Then we're going to add the 100 grams of self-raising flour, gluten-free or normal self-raising flour. There we go. I'll stir that round. So it's starting to come together more as a cake mixture now. There we go. I don't know whether you can see that. There we go, nice gloopy mixture. The kids would love this. Right, now I've got my 2 beaten eggs. I just use medium-sized eggs, but it wouldn't matter if they're a little bit on the larger side. That will take quite a little bit to incorporate that. Then my milk, lactose free, but again, you can use any sort. Now for this, we need 2 tablespoons. So I'm just going to literally measure it over the bowl to save on more washing up. So that's 1 and that's 2. If you haven't got a measuring spoon, not a problem, just use a normal tablespoon. There we go, pop that back in the fridge. Lovely. And for the final little bit of flavour, again, it wouldn't be the end of the world if you didn't have any cinnamon, because it'd still be lovely and banana flavoured. What I'm going to do is add, you can really add it to taste. I'm going to put about 1.5 to 2 teaspoons. So that's a half, that's 1. And I might just do another half, so 1.5 altogether. I don't want it to be too strong in flavour. The kids might not like it. Right, so I'm going to give that a good stir. There we go. So it's taking a little bit of incorporating. You want to make sure it's all really nice and mixed together, because then when it cooks, it will be an even cook rather than having pockets of different flavour here and there. There we go. And this is basically your cake mixture. So for presentation purposes, if you want to make the kids realise it has got bananas in, you can actually chop a few slices and just pop them in the top, and they should sort of float on the top so that you can see, literally just laying them in there. If you want to hide the fact that there's nice healthy bananas in there from the children, you don't need to do that part. There we go. So I've got my cake mixture. I'm going to pop that in the microwave now on high for 8 minutes. You don't need to open it at all while it's in, and hopefully that should come out lovely and smell delicious throughout the house, and the kids will love it. Okay, we've got 1 minute left in our microwave, so it's looking like it's got a lovely rise on it. One thing I will say is gluten-free flour, even though it's self-raising flour, it doesn't rise as much as standard self-raising flour. So if you do use self-raising normal flour, it will probably look a little bit higher than this one. If you want to find the recipe, you can look on www.cooking-good.co.uk, and that will give you all the instructions of how to make this. Right, we've got literally a few seconds left. There we go. I'm going to put some oven gloves on this time because it will be warm. Right, so here we go, here's our little cake. I'm just going to give it a bit of a test to make sure it is cooked through. If the prong comes up clear, it means it is cooked. If it's still a little bit sticky, it's probably undercooked. So I'm going to give that another 30 seconds just to make doubly sure that it's cooked. There we go. So now I think that's well and truly baked. Here we go, let's have a look. I'm just going to get a little dish and scoop some out so that we can see the inside. Here we go. Right. So here we have a nice little bit of banana sponge pudding. Might actually, we've got some ice cream ready. So if we've got some nice vanilla ice cream, we can put some in there. Ooh, look at that, that looks delicious. Here we are. So we can dollop a nice little bit that will go nice and melty on there. And job done. We've got microwave banana pudding.